Hey guys, welcome to this weekly installment on the blog. I wanted to talk today a little bit about WordPress themes. Again, it's a regular theme in what I do my training on, and also what we do in the agency here. But today I wanted to just give you a quick walkthrough of a theme that I can recommend that's out there if you're deliberating what theme to use. Say you want to build your own website. There's a number of issues with a lot of themes out there that you really want to avoid. We've used a number of select themes over the last number of years, and really the way we work as an agency is we either build like a stock theme, depending on the client, the budget required and so on, either a fully stock theme, so we source and select a high quality WordPress theme and then we swap out the client's content and put it in place and launch it. The other way that we build websites, or one of the other ways, is that we take a stock theme and then we do like a semi-custom design. So we'll do a completely custom homepage, we'll do maybe a completely custom services page or sales pages within the site, and then we'll overlay it onto a theme and then use some of the theme features and functionalities to build out the rest of the website, the less important pages like contact or about us or certain things like that. Just depends on the client, right? However, there always have been terrible themes out there, and there's a lot of pitfalls to picking a WordPress theme. If you go onto a marketplace like themeforest.net or Template Monster, there's thousands of different WordPress themes, and a lot of them are misleading in some way or other. They may look great, but they don't function well. The programming might be an absolute mess at the back end. Again, might look great, but the performance of the website is awful. You know, it's like a lot of extraneous code in there, a lot of added plugins that you've got to plug into the website to make it work. All of that kind of stuff adds up to a really load heavy website, which is not what you want, not only for user experience when people are surfing your website, but also for search engine optimization. Performance is one of the key factors within search engine rankings, the ranking factors. So you got to be aware of all these different factors that go into building a good website. Now, if you watch some of the other training I do, I go through all that, you know, in detail, point by point. So you got to look at things like the aesthetic. So yes, you want something that looks good. You want user experience and user interface to be there and optimized. So yes, you got to have that in place. You want functionality to be there, which kind of feeds into UX and UI as well. You want conversion strategy there. You got to have analytics on top of the website or at the back end to monitor everything that you do to be able to refine moving forward. There's a lot of factors that go into building a good website, as you'll probably know if you've seen some of my other training. But what I wanted to do today was give you a run through of the actual theme that we're using to rebuild our agency website. So you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a high quality theme. All the boxes are going to be ticked when it comes to usability, performance, not having a lot of extraneous code or plugins required, all that kind of stuff. So today I want to show you our website. It's in progress. We're actually working on it at the minute on different areas, building out different pages and so on. But also to bear in mind that fundamentally, the great thing about WordPress is that this website in essence has been around for the last decade. You know, since we started working with WordPress, a lot of the content has been there over the last decade. It's just that we overlay new aesthetics, new user experience, user interface onto the library of content. But that database of content is always there in the background, which is one of the reasons that WordPress is great. You don't have to completely scrap what you've done before in order to launch a brand new website. So this theme, just in case I haven't mentioned it, I don't think I have yet in this video, this theme is called Divi. It's by a company called Elegant Themes. Elegant Themes, just to give you a bit of a background, I've used Elegant Themes for the last 9 years or so for client websites. I don't think we ever built one of our agency websites using Elegant Themes, but we did do a lot of client websites back in the day, you know, 2009, 2010. They offered a good range of websites within their membership fee. So what you would do is you pay a one-time fee or a yearly fee, and they give you access to all their themes. And that was great because for us, we were able to give really high value, good looking, aesthetically pleasing themes for WordPress to clients for a minimal investment. We were able to build themes, a couple of grand or less sometimes, depending on the complexity of the site. So Elegant Themes was a good option 9-10 years ago. Then what happened was other companies started to overtake Elegant Themes in terms of the design being used, better design languages, better technologies being used. user experience of or usability of the actual theme itself became better for other companies as they kind of came through. And elegant themes started to lag behind quite significantly, both in terms of aesthetics, but also functionality and feature sets. And we kind of shelved using elegant themes for, well, really the last kind of 6-7 years because of that. And we moved on, we used Woo themes, and we used different themes that you'll see I recommend in other tutorials, like Bee theme, Bridge theme, the 7, and other themes of that ilk that are really solid themes. They maybe have 200 plus demos within the theme that you can import and then swap out, which is great because it gives that functionality, it gives a stable foundation, but it also gives you the flexibility to build themes or build websites for clients in all sorts of different industries just by using those demo sites. And again, whether that's a stock build where you just take the theme as is and swap out the client content, or whether it is a semi-custom design, so custom homepage, custom services page overlaid onto the theme itself. Those are all good themes. However, in coming around again just to test out the Divi theme with elegant themes, I came to realize that this is a whole new world of usability in terms of if you want to build a website yourselves, maybe your budget's limited, or you just want the flexibility to be able to very easily and visually create a new website. This theme is absolutely at the top of the league in terms of usability, feature set, flexibility for different functionalities, and visuals, the aesthetics and so on that go into making a good website. So I want to just show you through this in progress website, which is our website, and you can see a little bit about how you go about working with the theme itself, because there's some tutorials out there, but ultimately some of them are kind of lacking in where they go with it and how they show you the ease of which you can customize content without any experience at all with WordPress or themes in general. And I should also note at the start here, before we get involved with the walkthrough, is that with WordPress themes, another fact that you have to bear in mind is the drag and drop editor, as they call it, or the page builder. A number of years ago, a page builder came out. It's now called WP Bakery. Funny, it used to be called Visual Composer. And basically it breaks down the page as you see it, and it puts it into little blocks and rows and columns and feature sets. And then you can drag and drop them, and you can click edit on the individual blocks and reshuffle, reshape, and resize and all that kind of stuff. The real problem with WP Bakery is it's a really laggy performer. If you click into a page, sometimes it can take like 30 seconds to load the Visual Composer. So it's laggy, it's slow, it's cumbersome. Also, it doesn't always represent what's happening on the front end of the website, which is a real problem. If you're editing at the back end, and this was always an issue for WordPress and its editor, because you'd be editing text and imagery, and then you'd save it, and then you'd go to the front end of the website, and it wouldn't really look like what you thought it was going to look like, and then you'd have to go back and forth and edit and so on. Visual Composer and WP Bakery didn't really fix that. It offered a new way to build WordPress websites, which was great, the page builder itself, but it didn't really fix the core problem of something at the back end not really looking like what it was going to look like at the front end. Now, there were then other page builders that came out and plugins, themes like Optimized Press, which came out in version 2, I think about 4 years ago. The problem with that is, much like Elegant Themes 9-10 years ago, and much like Optimized Press version 1, which was again probably about 9 years ago, the aesthetics are already out of date. They already look bad. The page builder itself isn't great. It's laggy, there's problems. What you'll find is a lot of breakages where, the header of the website, the footer of the website, if you're trying to build in Optimized Press to look like your existing website, or whether you're trying to build the whole thing using Optimized Press, there's breakages along the way where all the core elements of the website, the header, the footer that should be consistent across the site, aren't always that way. You kind of got to go in page by page and edit them and make sure they somewhat look similar, and it doesn't always work out that way. So it used to be a good system. Now it is looking very, very dated, and Divi, what I'm showing you now, is the best you can get. And I would recommend, if you are thinking about doing a website yourself, Yes, you've got to have all the strategy down. You've got to make sure the UX, UI, the conversion strategies there. You've got to learn how to install analytics and really think about the sales pages on your website and the calls to action and all that kind of detail. But just to build a website, this is the best there is. So let me just show you right now. This is our homepage, okay? So this is right now in progress homepage. Now you'll see here, as we scroll over different areas, little editing options pop up. So in blue, you've got the kind of full area itself from which you add stuff into it. Then we have our kind of green area, which is the little blocks or the rows of content. These are the rows. And then within that, you've got the elements. So you've got the gray editing area. At any stage within any of these, the icons are all the same. So if you want to edit a row, you just click into the little cog. You can go change things like the row link. You can change the design, alignment, left, right, like so. You can change the sizing. Is it going to be full width? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Customize all that. You can look at spacing. Say you want to change the height that everything is kind of kept within, or the width. You can do that using custom margins and custom padding. So you'll see here, if I drop the margin, things just start to move up the page a little bit, right? And then we'll drop it back down to 0 because I had it the way I wanted it. You just click the green tick. That's it, kind of propagated through, and then you just click the save button here at the bottom right. You can add little padding areas. A new thing that Divi just brought out were dividers. So you see here this little kind of sweeping 3-layer divider. If I go into the actual row itself, I can go to design, go to dividers, and say at the bottom, we've got bottom selected here. You'll see the divider that's in place. I can select from all these different dividers depending on the look that I want to go for this individual page. So there's kind of more edgy sort of look. Happy with that, click the tick box. We can change the color of all that as well. Say we want to change the divider color to something that matches the next section on the page. We can go in, we can go to the divider, we can go to the bottom divider style, we can change the color of that. You'll see it just overlays the color. It can be any color under the sun, so you can just do this kind of, you know, drag and drop thing, just move it around the screen and see how it looks, all that kind of stuff. We have all these different feature sets. So this, for instance, is a little kind of circle timer. If we want to add a new component, you just click the little plus button, gives you all the options. You can actually create your own library depending on the site that you're building. If you're really happy with a layout that you've created in a certain page, you can actually save that to your library for future use. So then you can just go into the library and then categorize it and then, you know, just add it from the library. So it's like a pre-built module. Aside from that, we have pretty much anything you could want. You know, things like contact forms, countdown timers for sense of urgency, portfolio, which is filterable. These are all things that like other page builders like Optimized Press were really bad at. You know, they had basic things like a countdown timer, but it was clunky and maybe didn't work from time to time and so on. You've got login areas, portfolio, people, sliders, post titles, shop, search navigation, testimonials, video. All of those things as well are editable, so you don't just have to go with, like in WP Bakery, normally you've got to go with kind of what they provide and how it interacts with the theme that you're using. So WP Bakery is used on like hundreds of different themes, but that creates problems because styling is different, control is different depending on the theme that you're using, and that creates a lot of confusion. Sometimes doesn't look good. This, because Divi as a theme and all the functionalities that go into it and as a page builder are completely controlled by elegant themes, it's kind of like that principle of like Apple, you know, on their devices, right? So I got an iPhone, and what's good about the iPhone and the reason I changed from Android is that everything is controlled by Apple. The hardware, the battery performance, the screen, the software, iOS that goes into that, all the apps within the App Store. It's a very stringent process that's controlled by Apple. So you know that when you buy an iPhone, everything's going to work really, really well together. Whereas with Android, depending on the manufacturer and the model and the version of Android they're using, there could be, you know, poor battery performance or laggy operating system based on Android and so on. So it's a similar type of thing. Divi is controlled by elegant themes, and therefore the performance has been to date, now we've been building this for the last 4 weeks, but the performance has been something else when you compare it to the experience of working with other themes, even the ones that we recommend. So pretty much anything you can do in here is included. There are other then plugins that you can buy within like a premium marketplace for Divi, things like actually the contact form is something that we thought we were going to have to use an external plugin for, and then we ended up realizing that within Divi, if I just show you the page here, within Divi you actually get the functionality to add a fully custom contact form. So we've got different questions that we want to ask our clients specifically that are included in this contact form. Previously, what you would have to do is install something like Contact Form 7 or Gravity Forms or Ninja Forms as another plugin. And the problem when you do that, you go and add all these other plugins, is they take time to load on the website. So it's better that it's built into the theme as part of the functionality than adding individual plugins. Performance-wise, it makes a big difference to your load times, to your user experience, and so on. So that was just something that I wanted to show you as well, is that it's just, there's a lot of functionality there that you maybe don't get a lot with other themes, or they rely on those external plugins which maybe aren't great, aren't up to date. And that leads me on to another reason that Divi will be, I believe anyway, could be proved wrong, but I believe will be a better option for most clients who are looking to build a website themselves, and even sometimes for us building websites for clients, is that security is going to be better. Because when you minimize the plugins you use, not only are you improving things like performance, speed on the website. You know, it's not every time somebody comes onto your website, the server doesn't have to load 30 plugins before they get the visualization of how the page looks. With Divi, everything, or a lot of the stuff, is pre-built into the theme, so you don't have to worry about all these added plugins. And then with that, added plugins need updated. So particularly for security, and WordPress security has become a real issue over the last 5-6 years. A lot more hack attempts, a lot more hacked websites going down, malicious scripts being installed on websites, spam email, all that kind of stuff. It's bad news. You want to avoid it as much as possible, or in fact at all times. But Divi is a good solid theme, and because it doesn't use the external plugins that become vulnerable over time, like Contact Form 7 and other plugins that have had problems in the past, it means that your website is actually more secure and better performing. So that's another reason I would recommend Divi. You can see here as I look through some of the pages on our website, you know, it looks pretty good. We have complete control over this. Width of the pages, the colors of absolutely everything. And you see here like this little gradient kind of expanding call to action button. If I go into enable visual builder, you see how easy something like that is to either drag and drop around or to edit. So we go down here, go to the button itself, and again you'll see this visual representation looks exactly like the page that I was just on. It doesn't change the layout of the visual composer or the page builder based around the fact that it can't quite compute the visualization. It gives you what it's going to look like. So say we go down to that button, and I can use this arrow to drag and drop it. I could put it over here if I wanted. You see how that looks? Not great, there's some formatting issues. If I put it back here and say I want to change the color, again we go into the little cog, you go into design, you go to button, use custom styles, yes, otherwise it'll look like that. So we go to yes, custom styles, button text size, we can make it massive, we can make it smaller, balance it out that way. We can change the text color if we wanted to. We have options for the background of the button. So at the minute it's this nice gradient that you see. So I want to change maybe this color to a green, I can do that. I want to change the second color, the one it finishes up at, as a purple, I can do that. I can select the stock kind of color that's sitting there. I could put in a background image to the button. I could change just a flat color as well, but it gives you those options, and it looks like what it says it's going to look like. You can change the gradient type. Radial just kind of means it goes out from the center. Radial direction, maybe from the top left. You see how visually it just automatically changes. And then if I'm happy with something, I just click the tick button, which I won't do because I'm not. and then I go down to the little purple one, click save, and then it pushes it live on your website. So very, very fast, nice performance. Everything is controllable. I want to change the size of this image, or I want to change the image itself. I can go in here and upload whatever I want. I can go to the design. I can change, again, the spacing. As you'll see here as it moves up, creates a top margin, custom. That's the way it'll look on the website as well. Everything is controllable, which I love about this theme. And it's been such a joy to actually build a website for ourselves using this. We haven't had to get the programmers involved so much, so we can use, they're working on a lot of custom projects. We can actually just focus in on the marketing element of our website, the spacing of everything, the user experience, the call to action, the conversion strategy, animations, the way things work, the information that's on the website. It's all controlled very, very simply by us, and that's why I'm really enjoying using this theme. I have to say, it's been really, really nice. Animations are nice as well. So if I was you and you're starting out and you just want to build a really good website yourself, or if you want our agency to do it for you, I would say most of what we're going to do now, because of the customization options, the performance element, and the visual page builder, Divi is going to be it moving forward. A lot of the other themes just don't stack up compared to this right now. I'm not saying that will be the case in a year's time, 3 years' time. Other systems might come up in the process. But right now, of all the themes that I've tested in the last 2 years, a lot of them are good. Nothing is quite matching this. So Divi, hats off to you. You've done a great job. Elegant themes. I'm loving the theme right now. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the comment button below this video. Let me know how you're getting on with your website, if you need any hand, if you need some advice in terms of strategy and so on. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button below the video and hit the notification bell. And meantime, hopefully this was of help. Hope you're having a great day. I'll see you in the next one.